All right, my name is Curtis Marshall. Got my man here, Adam Smith. We're both from Dental Intel, and we're here to talk to you a little bit about supplies within the dental office. And with Adam's background on numbers, I think you'll be really excited on what you got to hear today.
Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big numbers geek. I like to see what things play into different numbers. And one of the things that I typically see as an expense on people's income statements that's higher than it should be, percentage-wise, is supplies. So when you see your supplies expense too high on your income statement, there are a few things that you want to look at. First of all, you want to look at and make sure everything's classified correctly. Make sure you don't have things that are not actually dental supplies going into supplies. That can throw it out of line very easily. If everything's classified correctly, then there are really three main reasons why supplies would be out of line. Number one, you're paying too much for your supplies. You haven't price shopped them, you haven't negotiated with your supply reps, maybe you're not doing enough to order them for a lower price. That's one very clear one. And that's typically the issue. Number two, you could be overusing supplies, wasting supplies, have a huge stockpile of supplies that's not necessary. That's not as common. And the last one is that some people don't think about is that supplies produce for you. They don't necessarily equal collections. Supplies equal production. So you could have your supplies be in line with what you're producing, but have your accounts receivable messing up your percentage of collections. Let's say I produced 100,000 and I collected 70 of it. Well, I would have paid the supplies to produce the 100,000, and because I've got 30 sitting in accounts receivable, now I've got my supply expense as a percent of 70,000 rather than 100,000, and that could bring it out of line. So once again, to review, 4 things that could have it being wrong: improper classification, high accounts receivable, high supply costs, that's probably the most likely, or overusing or wasting supplies.
Awesome. Now, thanks, Adam. Where should they be in relation to production? I don't know if you mentioned this, but where should they be as far as percentages?
So on typical dental supplies, you want to run right in the 5 to 7% range.
5 to 7. So that's a lot of good information here. Like he said, he does love numbers. He instead of counting sheep, he counts numbers at night. And I'd like to give you also one quick tip on supplies. It's something that I've seen in a few offices and it works really well. And that is a mess-up shelf or a mess-up box. And essentially what it is you have within this box or on the shelf 1 or 2 of every supply that you use within your office. And the 2 main reasons for having that is, number 1, if you do run out somewhere with one of your supplies, you have that available for your patient right away. Number 2, it gives an automatic red flag, a secondary red flag, that once you're out of something and you've used it from your mess-up box or shelf, that you can order right away. And with today's modern technology, you can order stuff from your sales rep, from your supply rep very quickly. But if you have any extra questions for us here at Dental Intel, give us a call or shoot us a comment below, and we will answer that for you regarding supplies or anything else that relates to numbers. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Curtis.